I was really pleased today with the guys flying around, their attention to detail, how hard we're working. They're doing a great job.
How much do you look forward to getting all the pads on? How much of a difference does that make?
Well, a lot of difference. Tomorrow we'll put shoulder pads on. With the acclimatization period, you have to go helmets, and then 2 shoulder pad days, and then you can get into full gear. But just being able to put some shoulder pads on for safety, number one, and then number two, being able to fit things up a little bit better and knock some people around. So we'll still all stay up through those tempos, but at least it'll crank up a little bit tomorrow.
Do you guys always go through that? I know it's more of a rule now, but the acclimatization, where you kind of ramp into things.
It's a rule.
Right. I'm saying like 20 years ago, would you guys start straight away, first day full pads?
I can't remember 20 years ago. Yeah, I think over time the rules have got put in place for that reason. We probably did, and that's probably why they did it that way. Which, it would be great if we could start with shoulder pads, because we still play really fast, and really it's for injury prevention more than anything with the shoulder pads.
Coach, is supposed to be one of the hottest summers on record. How you guys preparing for this to beat the heat?
Well, they've worked all summer with it, and hydration is key. Making sure that we take care of our bodies, that we're in the cold tubs, that we're doing all the things we need. We will make accommodations for breaks in the middle of practice. When we go to our 3-hour practice, there'll be a break in the middle where we can hydrate and refuel them and get them fresh, just like a halftime of a game would be.
You interviewed kind of like 3 o'clock yesterday in the morning today. Is that kind of why, looking at the temperature, or is this just...
No, it was just because yesterday was the first day, and we had compliance meetings to do and so on and so forth, so we had a lot of paperwork to do in the morning. We will typically practice in the mornings from here on out.
A lot of these true freshmen pass the eyeball test. I mean, they look like they're right there with some of these upperclassmen. How much more is it than just that, than looking good?
Well, it's how they're learning, what their effort is like, the attention to detail. Is new for a lot of them on what our standards are and what we look for. But they're a great group. They really are. They're really eager to get things done. They pay attention to coaching. They've given great effort. So I'm really pleased with the new group that we have in here.
As far as evaluating the quarterback competition, are you guys doing that daily, or do you need 4 or 5 days worth before you really take a hard look at it?
Daily, we will evaluate it but you're exactly right. Before we take a hard look at it to see if there would be any change in reps or anything, we would go through 4 days or so to get that done. But every day we're evaluating, we're looking at numbers, evaluating decisions, turnovers, fundamentals, the whole bit. So every day each player on the team gets evaluated.
And are you seeing progress at that quarterback position, or is it too early to tell?
It's too early to tell. I think Jorge Reyna really took a big step from spring, because it was his first spring, and he was just, getting into the offense and the speed of the game at this level. And but I think he's taken a big step from spring ball through summer until now.
So if I know you move around during practice, do you like spending any more time with the quarterbacks than any other position group?
I'm kind of all over. If we're in individual period, that's when I typically run the quarterback, so I can look at the fundamentals and help with that. But then from there, I like to go watch every group on the practice field just to take a look at it and see them in action, make sure that our drills are what they need to be, and we're moving things on the fields, we're not tearing grass up. I mean, a lot of you're kind of the manager, looking around to make sure we're doing the right things.
How about Juju Hughes? He's a sophomore this year. Any development from him from fall camp?
In fall camp?
From fall camp, yeah. That you've seen.
From fall camp?
Yeah.
You mean last fall?
Or I mean spring, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes, he's come a long way. And I think mainly with attitude, his work ethic is great. He's bought into the system. I think he's a really good player, and he's very coachable. I think he has a great attitude, and I think he's turned into being one of our leaders.